Hey, this is Gervasi with Kentik, and in this short video, I'm going to walk you through how Kentik is moving up the stack to monitor application activity on the network. Now, we're pretty well known for what we can do with the more passive aspects of network visibility, like the collection and analysis of flow data, SNMP information, routing table information, IP fix, streaming telemetry. There's a lot there. Now, Kentik Synthetics, on the other hand, is an active form of monitoring because you set up an individual synthetic test, which under the hood uses artificial traffic, and you use that to target something very specific. So you're proactively testing something rather than collecting data on what already happened. And that's also why passive visibility, like flow data, SNMP, and so on, goes hand in hand with synthetic tests, because together you get a much better picture of overall network and application activity. So, among all of our various types of synthetic tests, we do have three web tests in particular that I want to show you that focus on web application activity. Now, it's important to remember that today, latency is the new outage. So if your e-commerce site or news site or your line of business application internally is slow or performing poorly, you need to know that before the tickets start coming in, and you need a mechanism to diagnose the issue at the application level to find out the root cause of the problem. So let's open up the Kentik portal and jump right in. So I'm here in the Test Control Center where we manage all of our synthetic tests, and I'm going to start by selecting Add Test here in the upper right. Notice here on the lower left, we have our three web tests. These are our three application-focused synthetic tests. We have the HTTP or API test, the page load test, and the transaction test, which we also call synthetic transaction monitoring. So let's start by looking at the HTTP test. Notice what we're doing is using a GET request, though we do support other methods as well, against a specific URL or FQDN to check the availability of that web application. And we're going to do that from one or multiple test agents that can be deployed in various places around the world if you like. We have some more advanced optional parameters you can set. And under advanced options on the bottom, you can set the test frequency and things like where you want your alerts to be sent. Here's an example HTTP test that I have running. What I did is I set up these two agents here to check the availability of a website that I set up in AWS. Notice that I'm getting a status 200. And then I have all of this other very interesting information as well. The domain lookup time, connection time, response time, and so on. To get more granular, I can select details here on the right, and you'll get a lot of that same information broken down for you over time. The next test I want to show you is the page load test. Now, the page load test is very powerful because not only does it show you how long it takes for the overall web page to load, but it shows you how long it takes for each individual component on that page to load. So it's very granular. What you do is you just enter in the URL or IP, choose your test agents, any advanced configuration here, and your advanced options on the bottom, and run the test. Here's an example page load test that I have running. It's the same website that I have in AWS, and I'm using these three agents to continually open the page and gather all those metrics. So you can see here I'm getting navigation time, domain lookup time. These are aggregate metrics. If I want to get granular though, I select details over here, and you can start to break that same information down over time. But if I want to see those individual page components, I'm going to select waterfall here on the top menu, and notice that I can look at how each individual file on that page is loading. And you can see here right away that I have one file, bootstrap.min.css, that's taking a long time to load as a result of very high DNS lookup. The last test I want to show you is the transaction test. This is a very interesting test because what you're doing is simulating an end user interacting with your website. So whether that's logging in to a website and then adding something to a shopping cart or adding something to a news feed or a comment section, whatever is relevant to your organization. So what you do is name the test, select your agents, and then you can manually configure a Puppeteer script if you like, or you can automatically generate one using the Chrome developer tools. So here I have a transaction test running for you. And you can see that I'm getting information about total transaction time. And if I select details, you can get more granular. But what I want to do is select Edit Test and show you what this looks like. You can see here my two agents that I'm running, and you can see here the script that was automatically generated for me in the Chrome developer tools. And the reason this is important is because this tool will help kind of capture what an end user's experience is like. You can even take screenshots along the way in your script to see what an end user would see and therefore monitor their digital experience. Now, it's important to remember that what we're all doing here is delivering services, applications, to actual human beings. I mean, that's the whole point of the underlying network in the first place, right? And Kentik's application-focused synthetic tests, like the HTTP test, page load test, and transaction monitoring together, add the proactive visibility that you need to more effectively monitor and to troubleshoot your application performance and digital experience. So to learn more about Kentik Synthetics, visit kentik.com/synthetics. And of course, you can always reach out to a Kentik representative as well. Thanks very much.